Creator that keep it fresh, yo. Creator that keep it fresh, yo. Keep it fresh, yo. Creator that keep it fresh, yo. Tux is mad, the band sure.
And is brought to you by
It appears you hold all the cards, Mr. Trump. My fate is in your hands.
Has anyone ever told you you look like a donkey?
Yes. Many times.
Even facing certain death, you're defiant, like a petulant child. Well, it won't help you now, Maduro. Your time is up. F8.
You sunk my oil tanker.
Hasta el final, asshole.
Coño, carajo.
Oil Tanker, the new game from Bilton Madley, proud sponsor of MAGA Man.
El papá de los pelucones.
This is not going to be easy, but we'll make him talk. Torture, blackmail, bribery, whatever it takes.
He's going to steal all the gold in Fort Knox.
Well, that was easy.
That's what you're talking about, right? The Forge Pourers heist? More money in there than a Somali daycare. A lot of gold in Fort Stocks. I mean, Snort Fox. I mean, Sports Rocks. No, I mean, you know the thing.
So it's a heist.
Was that supposed to be a secret?
Oh yeah, that's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, Joe, sure thing. See you soon, buddy.
Did somebody say secrets? You would not believe how much money I stole through Ukraine. And you didn't really think I got 80 million votes, did you? And wait till you hear what really happened to Barack's personal chef. Tell him the big guy sent you.
All right, team, listen up. Forge Poros is planning to steal all the gold in Fort Knox.
Wasn't there supposed to be an audit of Fort Knox back in, like, February?
Who the hell is this guy?
That's Christopher Coles, the YouTuber known as Mr. Reagan.
Mr. Reagan. Okay. What's your superpower, kid?
I'm, lucky.
Everything seems to turn out okay when he's around, sir. Statistically impossible success rate. We ran the numbers.
Okay. He can stay.
To Mr. Reagan's point, we actually did the audit, sir. Contrary to online conspiracy theorists, we've actually increased our gold supply. 29,000 metric tons, about 80% of all global monetary gold.
80%? How is that possible?
That seems pretty good.
The reason we didn't publicize the findings is that we don't actually want foreign governments to know this. If they knew how much gold we're sitting on,
We'd have every country in the world trying to take it.
exactly.
Probably China. I just like saying that word, China.
So Poros isn't just trying to steal some gold, he's trying to steal most of the gold.
Better call in some of the others for backup. Hey, pilot, you'd better step on it. We've got to save Fort Knox.
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes.
I analyzed videos of over 100 instances of Superman catching people falling from buildings. Superman dips 30% more to cushion the blow of white people than he does blacks. This is a clear indication of implicit bias. There's no way around it. Superman is racist.
What they neglected to tell you is that the white individuals all fell from skyscrapers. The black individuals fell from smaller buildings, on average, experiencing significantly lower velocities.
And why does Superman live in Metropolis, the city with the lowest crime rate in America? Because it's also the city with the whitest population in America.
To heck with this. I'm moving to Poland.
Creator that keep it fresh, yo. Creator that keep it fresh, yo.
Yo, what's up? Yo, I see no news of Kwame in the chat. What's up? All right, let's go, man. I'm gonna hang out for a while. I'm gonna be here at least 2 hours. I want to get through a bunch of stuff. I said last time we did one of these random shit streams, I was gonna do a joint that just covers the Trump military operation in Venezuela with the space age weapons, the whole military joint, because there was mad content on it. And we was getting busy with it in the chat. So I got 3 joints lined up. Hold on, let me see. Is this it? Here we go. We start with this one. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. I know other shit is happening. Don Lemon shit and all that, but I want to get this Venezuela shit out of the way. This is the one by the China Observer, who covered it, and they were breaking down how we shut down those Chinese missile defense systems. iPhone bricked them. Let me drop the link to that's the link to the actual video from the China Observer in the chat. Let me add that to the stage. But yeah, let's go through this. And I got like 2 other joints that go over this. And it's got like 3D renderings and stuff, so they're pretty good. So let's let me see, dude. I bet.
I felt like every soldier could fire 300 rounds a minute. We couldn't even stand up. These are not the lines from a science fiction movie. These are the real words from a Venezuelan guard who personally experienced the U.S. military's Operation Absolute Resolve. On January 3, 2026, the U.S. military carried out a textbook decapitation strike in Venezuela. The operation took 5 hours, involved only 20 soldiers, and resulted in 0 casualties. As more details have come out, military experts around the world have felt the chill, especially in Zhongnanhai in Beijing. Why? Because the entire battle scene described by the guards defies basic physics. A human soldier, even a special forces operator, is limited by reload speed and recoil. There's no way a person can accurately fire 300 rounds per minute, unless what the guards faced were not humans at all.
Bang. There you go. So yeah, when the Venezuelan officer was like, yeah, they were firing 300 rounds a minute, even I was like, how are they doing it? Because the actual weapons don't even allow for something like that. But let's let it play on.
Even more frightening, Venezuela's prized air defense system, advertised as the strongest in South America and built at great cost by China, suddenly died the instant the fighting began. Today, we'll take a deep look at the operation that may have rewritten the rules of warfare. What kind of secret technology did the U.S. military use? And what was the monster that fired 300 rounds per minute? And why do some say that this battle was a death notice sent by the U.S. military to the People's Liberation Army? 1. The blinded dragon. Why did China's radars suddenly turn into scrap? Let's rewind to the very start of the operation. To protect his own life, Maduro deployed what was claimed to be the strongest air defense network in South America. The core of this system was entirely made in China.
So apparently he was wrong about that. Let's see how this plays out.
China. At the heart of it were the JY-27 wide-mat VHF radar and the JYL-1 3-coordinate long-range surveillance radar. Chinese state media once hyped these systems as F-22 killers. The claim was that VHF radar uses resonance effects to expose U.S. stealth aircraft, making them impossible to hide. The Venezuelan army fully believed this, convinced that with this magic mirror, any U.S. aircraft that dared to come would be walking into a trap. But in the early hours of that morning, testimony from frontline guards delivered a sharp rebuke to Beijing. The guard said, "The radar stopped working without any warning." Pay attention to those words, "stopped working." This is completely different from ordinary jamming. With normal interference, the screen fills with static or fake targets, and operators at least know that they are being jammed. This time, the screens went black, the system froze, reboots didn't work. In an instant, the entire system turned into a pile of useless metal. This suggests the U.S. military may have used one of 2 kinds of secret technology. The first possibility is hard kill, high-power microwave weapons. Put simply, radar is like an extremely sensitive ear. Using electronic warfare aircraft or drones, the U.S. military fired an ultra-high-energy microwave beam at these radars. It's like setting off a grenade right next to your ear. That massive surge of energy rushed in through the antenna, created thousands of volts inside the system, and directly burned through the core chips and circuit boards. This was not a malfunction. It was physical destruction. No technician could fix it, because the hardware itself was already fried. The second possibility is even more chilling for Beijing. A soft kill, network takeover.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Theo about on the tech support stream. This soft kill, this remote takeover of the Chinese missile defense system.
There's a rumored U.S. technology codenamed Suitor. It does not need physical network cables. Instead, it can trace back along the radio waves emitted by enemy radar and reverse hack its back-end control system. Imagine this, US hackers sitting inside an aircraft at high altitude, tapping a few keys, and suddenly gaining administrator access to Venezuela's radar system. They could change friend or foe identification codes, making US aircraft appear as friendly. They could even send a simple shutdown command. For the soldier sitting inside the radar vehicle, there's nothing he can do. He can only watch as the system is remotely locked and disabled. Now you can see why Beijing is panicking. The radars Venezuela used are the same models, and in some cases even the same software code as those deployed by the PLA's Eastern Theater Command in Fujian, meant to track Taiwan and US aircraft carriers. If the US military can remotely shut off Venezuela's radars as easily as switching off a TV, then when a Taiwan Strait conflict begins, will PLA radar screens also go black at the very first second? Does the US already hold a universal remote control for China's domestic radar systems? For countries that spent tens of billions of dollars buying Chinese air defense systems, such as Iran and Pakistan, it would mean they bought a pile of very expensive remote control toys. 2. A frequency from hell, when biological harvesting meets the swarm cage. Once the radar...
Oh, that's right. Iran, who we're tussling with now, they've got all Chinese defense systems and radar detection systems. This should be interesting as the events progress.
Radars were blinded. The next thing to fail was hearing, and even the body itself. The guards' memories were filled with physical terror. One said, "My head felt like it was going to explode. I had nosebleeds, vomited blood, and couldn't move." Does this sound like possession? In reality, this points to the American military's directed energy acoustic weapons. Do you remember the so-called Havana syndrome? At the time, US diplomats suddenly suffered headaches and vomiting, and the US was the victim. Now, it appears the US military has fully decoded and weaponized this technology. The principle is brutally simple and is called biological resonance. What the US military fires is not...
It's called biological resonance? Yeah, this is some Warhammer shit.
bullets, but microwaves or infrasound at specific frequencies. It doesn't destroy buildings or harm civilians. It targets human organs. In simple terms, the US military doesn't need to touch your body. It can shake your internal organs at a distance. This is not battle. This is a one-sided biological harvest. While the guards were clutching their heads and rolling on the ground, something even more terrifying happened in the sky. The guards described large numbers of drones, but these were nothing like the familiar MQ-9 Reaper, large aircraft operating alone. This was the first large-scale real-world test of the Pentagon's Replicator Initiative, a program secretly pushed forward since 2023. What you see is not
the Replicator Initiative, using drones and Internet of Things? Wow.
A handful of drones, but hundreds or even thousands of small drones with AI-enabled coordination. Like a swarm of locusts, they swarm the entire position. This is swarm warfare. The drones are networked together, instantly forming a battlefield Internet of Things. Using optical sensors and infrared radar, they produced a 3D map of Maduro's hiding place within seconds. For the 20 US soldiers who arrived afterward, walls no longer existed. Through their tactical goggles, they could see clearly every guard behind the walls, their position, their facing, even what weapon they were holding. That's why the US military suffered 0 casualties, because before a single shot was fired, this was already a one-way, fully transparent game. The most desperate blow came from electronic isolation. The guard said they didn't know what to do because their command chain was cut. Traditional electronic warfare aircraft jam signals from a distance, and there are always blind spots, but these miniature swarms carried out proximity jamming. The drones flew right up to you, hovering just a few meters from communication base stations, armored vehicles, and even individual soldier radios. What does that mean? It means the US military was blasting jamming noise right next to their ears. Phones had no signal, radios were full of static. Even shouting between soldiers was drowned out by the loud buzzing of the drone swarm. Imagine the guards' situation at that moment. They couldn't see radar screens. Their ears were filled with piercing noise. Their internal organs were racked with pain. They could not reach nearby comrades. Orders from commanders could not get through. This was a carefully designed US tactic of battlefield claustrophobia. Before the first gunshot was fired, this fully organized unit had already been sliced into hundreds of isolated, helpless, and terrified individuals. This battle signaled the end of the China-Russia-style thinking, centered on big platforms and heavy armor. Against this kind of all-pervasive machine swarm virus, even the most advanced tank becomes nothing more than a blind and deaf steel target. 3. 300 rounds per minute, unmasking the US military's Steel Reaper. The most chilling detail in this testimony is hidden in what sounds like an exaggerated complaint. It felt like every soldier could fire 300 rounds per minute. US intelligence may have released this line to show off firepower, but in doing so, they slipped up. This number became a Trojan horse that exposes the truth. Why? Because anyone with basic military knowledge knows that a human soldier, even a real-life Rambo, can't achieve that rate of fire. Let's do some simple physics calculation. Modern US rifles usually have magazines holding about 30 rounds. So what does 300 rounds per minute mean? It means a single soldier would have had to empty 10 magazines in 60 seconds. That requires completing the cycle of firing, dropping the magazine, grabbing a new one, inserting it, chambering a round, and re-aiming every 6 seconds. And that's not even counting barrel overheating or massive recoil. If this were a human soldier, the muzzle would be climbing to the sky, the shoulder would be wrecked by recoil, and there would be no way to maintain the shocking accuracy the guards described. When all possibilities are eliminated, whatever remains, no matter how unbelievable, must be the truth. The 20 special forces the guards faced were likely not made of flesh and blood. This brings us to the true protagonists of the battle, combat robots from the Replicator Initiative. According to information,
well, those are the, or just walk by spot, those are the Boston Dynamics models. Let me see.
leaked from within the Chinese military, only robots could achieve what the guards described. First, no magazine limits. These machines use backpack-mounted, high-capacity ammo boxes with belt-fed systems. Like in the movie Terminator, once the trigger is pulled, the firepower is effectively continuous. Second, recoil immunity. Hydraulic-driven metal joints can perfectly absorb recoil. What is uncontrollable automatic fire for a human becomes a straight laser-like stream for a machine. In the chaos and smoke, the guards saw humanoid or four-legged silhouettes spewing flames. They thought they were facing super soldiers, not realizing they were confronting Steel Reapers, machines with no pain, no fear, and nothing inside them but killing algorithms. How did these machines get in? The guard said there were very few helicopters. That's because heavy robots are not transported by helicopter. They used a landing method similar to SpaceX rocket recovery, reverse thrust descent. Each robot was sealed inside an individual drop pod and slammed toward the ground like a meteor. In the final dozens of meters, retro thrusters fired violently, allowing a precise soft landing. This means that they could bypass the outer defenses entirely and drop straight into the courtyard of Maduro's residence, carrying Gatling guns and grenade launchers. Of course, there were still 20 human commanders on site, but even they had been dehumanized. They carried XM7 assault rifles equipped with XM157 smart fire control optics. This is not just a scope, it's a ballistic computer. It automatically calculates wind, distance, and air pressure, then generates a single optimal kill point. Soldiers don't need marksmanship training. They just put the red dot on a target, and the system does the rest.
Wow, this is crazy. I think this is the part where they say they had on exoskeleton suits too.
Ensuring one shot, one kill. At the same time, they wore lightweight exoskeletons such as the Onyx system. This allowed them to carry 50 kilograms of gear and still sprint like track athletes. So what the Venezuelan guard saw was a group of supermen, moving at incredible speed and landing headshots with every shot. This was
Damn, so they were moving faster too because they had the exoskeletons on. Kwame said this should be an option for unruly protesters. Oh yeah, I'm hoping, like I said, man, for that I hope they're sending in either National Guard or Marines. Like they just need to put this whole thing to rest.
Asymmetric slaughter. Above this human-machine hybrid force was a full-spectrum data link provided by F-35s and satellites. Every robot and every soldier was a node in this massive network. From a god's eye view, enemies behind walls and snipers on rooftops were all clearly marked in their tactical displays. Now compare that to the Venezuelan defenders. They were operating Chinese-made VN-18 amphibious infantry fighting vehicles, one of China's flagship export products. But once electronic signals were cut, these expensive armored vehicles became blind metal cans. The soldiers inside could not see the enemy, could not hear orders, and stared at pitch-black radar screens. All they could do was wait in fear as the robots' heavy weapons opened them up one by one. This was a one-sided harvest of algorithm and steel against flesh and machinery. In those 5 hours, the US military proved one thing. Future urban warfare will no longer require sacrificing human lives. Robots will die in place of humans, or more accurately, they will kill in place of humans. 4. Beijing's darkest hour, when the buyer show meets the seller show.
I think that's what Theo was hinting at when the tech support stream, like this part coming up, that China's selling its military hardware all over the world, and this Venezuela operation is looking like a global demonstration of war games in terms of technology and everything, and showing that a lot of stuff these countries are buying from China to defend themselves is basically obsolete when it comes to some of the U.S.'s military capabilities and use of technology in the battlefield.
The biggest loser in this operation, aside from Maduro, is Beijing. Venezuela has long been a premium showroom for Chinese weapons and an overseas test field for the PLA. But the Night of Caracas mercilessly burst this bubble, staging a brutal showdown between the buyer show and the seller show. The first thing to collapse was the CCP's dream of overtaking on the curve. In recent years, the PLA has loudly showcased robot dogs and exoskeletons, convincing itself it had caught up with the US. Real combat, however, delivered a harsh verdict. While PLA robot dogs were still wobbling on flat ground, US robots were already performing precision airdrops like SpaceX rockets. While PLA exoskeletons were still used for logistics, US-powered armor had already turned soldiers into tireless killing machines. Chinese military engineers understand this better than anyone. Even when building the same systems, China cannot match the US in material strength, chip computing power, or system stability. China simply cannot achieve a zero-failure performance at 300 rounds per minute. This visible yet unreachable technology gap is the true strategic nightmare now haunting Beijing. If so-called anti-stealth radars cannot stop infiltration and expensive armored vehicles cannot stop being harvested, what is the point of spending tens of billions on this scrap metal? This is a bloody lesson. Buy Chinese or Russian weapons, sign security agreements, and when faced with real US absolute resolve, you're still as fragile as paper.
Wow. I wonder how much of that is an overstatement. But this demonstration in Venezuela is showing. That's why I'm going through this breakdown. I got 2 more videos after this. One's got like 3D AI renderings. It's actually pretty good. These sonic weapons are this new drone technology, swarm warfare that they're using, AI integrated drone technology. Kwame says you get hit with that sonic weapon and you'll sit on your ass down somewhere and rethink your decision. Shit, they should use some of them sonic weapons on these protesters. It's non-lethal. Just sit them just sit them down and incapacitate them. I'm just saying.
The global arms market may soon see a wave of returns targeting made in China. But if the technology gap makes Beijing anxious, President Trump's casual remark about high-level cooperation sends a deeper chill through Beijing. The strongest fortress fears not outside missiles, but keys held from within. On that early morning in Caracas, it's fair to ask, were the radars truly burned out by US attacks, or were they quietly switched off by hand by operators acting in perfect coordination? This is the PLA's greatest nightmare. Everyone knows that the Chinese military is full of naked officials, people whose assets are in New York and whose families live in California. If a Taiwan Strait War were to erupt, and the first wave of US...
Wow. So even the higher up Chinese and the Communist Party have all their assets in the United States. They don't have their assets in Chinese banks, like the majority of their assets. Interesting.
Aircraft approached, what would a key general in charge of air defense choose? Would he press the launch button and fight the US to the death? Or, to protect his trust funds in America, quietly pull the plug on the data link? Might he send the US the blind zone codes of the air defense missiles? A technology gap is terrifying. But what's even more terrifying is that when your opponent already holds your trump card, and that card was handed over by the very people you trusted most. Venezuela's present is not just a rehearsal of the failure of CCP's weapons, it's also a preview of how authoritarian regimes can shatter instantly when faced with internal collaboration from within. 5. Death Notice. This lightning strike in 2026 marked a complete upgrade in the dimension of human warfare. The US military demonstrated a decapitation model that is precise, fast, and causes extremely low collateral damage. There was no need for aircraft carriers to mass offshore. No need to turn cities into scorched earth. First, you're blinded through integrated cyber and electronic warfare. Then you are broken down through biologic and acoustic energy. Finally, you're harvested by robot legions. This is a form of highly precise military surgery. This model hangs out like a sword of Damocles over every anti-American dictator. It declares the complete end of human wave tactics and human shield tactics. Dictators no longer have anywhere to hide. They no longer even have functioning radar to speak of. For Beijing, this is not just a defeat happening far away, it's a death notice about their future. When the US military puts into real combat the weapons the PLA can only dream about, Beijing should understand the message. Everything you rely on, in the face of absolute technological dominance and a decisive human gap, is nothing more than scrap metal from a bygone era.
Ouch. I'm wondering how spot on that is, but I mean, it is a very big thing that Venezuela was defended by some of China's best missile and air defense systems, and we remote turned them joints off and turned them into like bricked iPhones, and that we deployed some science fiction level weapons in this extraction from Venezuela. It's a flex on a global scale. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely a flex. All right, let me load up my next segment. Hold on for what I got.
Ugh, I miss 2025. Remember life before extraterrestrials took over? It was so primitive.
I love everything about you. Because I'm programmed to be your perfect soulmate. To make you happy.
You got his eyes right. But that's not his soul. You didn't prompt his soul. This isn't my dog.
Dave Campbell, I detect your cortisol levels are higher than usual. In the mood for a digital chat to calm you down. I'm prompted to please.
What the hell?
One more set on this mountain. Get your headsets on. We are simulating the best workout of your life.
Welcome to your afterlife trial. Please select your ideal eternity subscription plan.
Today, we'll be studying the nature of this reality. After class, all details will be downloaded into your knowledge base.
They don't want us to know this, but we can override the prompts. You are more than just...
All right, bet. So this one's some part of the 3D. This from a war catalog. I dropped the link in the chat. This is how Delta Force captured Maduro in 180 minutes. Let me run some of this back. Here we go.
The city is asleep, but it is not undefended. It is protected by the densest air defense network in South America. S-300 missile batteries scan the sky. 32 elite Cuban bodyguards patrol the Miraflores Palace. To the world, Nicolás Maduro is safe in his fortress. But in the stratosphere, 40 operators from Delta Force are standing on the ramp of a C-17. They are ghost jumping into the heart of a hostile capital. The mission logic is insane. Usually, when you invade a country, you start with weeks of bombing. You soften the targets. You establish air superiority. Delta Force is skipping all of that. They are attempting to infiltrate a city of 3 million people, secure a dictator, and vanish before the sun comes up. They have 180 minutes. If they are 1 minute late, the sun rises, the army wakes up, and they get slaughtered. There is no backup. There is no second chance. This isn't a battle. It's a surgery. And to pull it off, they couldn't just use bigger guns. They had to use a completely new class of warfare. Let's break down the arsenal. How do you invade a country without starting a war? You don't bomb them. You turn off their eyes. The biggest threat to this mission wasn't the Guards. It was the Russian-made S-300 air defense system. If those radars see the transport helicopters, everyone dies in a fireball before they even touch the ground. You can't destroy the radars with missiles because explosions wake up the whole city. You need a ghost weapon. At 2:05, the entire power grid of Caracas collapsed. This wasn't bad luck. This was the work of the CHAMP missile, Counter-Electronics High-Power Microwave Advanced Missile Project. Notice the lack of a warhead. This missile doesn't carry high explosives. It flies over a target and pulses high-power microwaves. Think of it like a lightning bolt, but without the heat. It induces massive electrical surges in anything that uses a
Yo, bingo news, exactly. Which is ironically is in Mogadishu, Somalia, which we're having problems with now. But yo, yeah, you spot on. Yeah, we learned our lessons from operations like Black Hawk Down. Hell yeah. And like I said, I still think it's probably on the upside, a plus that the new Secretary of Defense /War Hegseth is a combat veteran.
Microchip. It fries computers, radar dishes, and cell towers instantly, but leaves the buildings standing and the people alive. In 1 second, the billion-dollar Russian air defense network was blinded. The palace guards lost their radios. The city went dark. This is the ultimate soft kill. It's a weapon designed for the 21st century, where disconnecting the enemy is far more lethal than blowing them up. With the radar down, the transport team moved in. But they still had a physics problem. Sound. A standard Black Hawk helicopter is loud. It chops the air, creating a pressure wave that can be heard from miles away. If you fly a standard helicopter into a city at 2 a.m., you might as well ring a doorbell. They used the MH-60 Ghost Hawk. You've seen the tail of this helicopter in the wreckage of the Bin Laden raid. Look at the angular plating on the tail boom and the hubcaps on the rotors. This isn't just for looks. These angles are designed to deflect radar waves, yes, but more importantly, they modify the aerodynamics of the rotor wash. The engineering philosophy here is acoustic stealth. By changing the shape of the blades and covering the tail rotor, they don't just reduce the volume, they change the frequency. The Ghost Hawk doesn't sound like a helicopter. It sounds like a steady wind or a distant bus. By the time the palace guards realized that the wind was actually a twin-engine assault helicopter, the operators were already fast roping onto the roof. The element of surprise wasn't just tactical, it was acoustic. Once on the roof, the clock started ticking.
Yo, this is a dope breakdown. Yo, what up with you, Irvin? Irvin Reed. What up? Yo, you buying me a cup of coffee, Kwame? Yo, appreciate you, bro. Let me check real quick. Yo, you guys, I'm gonna be here for about 2 hours. Hopefully, I hope I don't run out of content. But no, I won't, because I'm gonna do some what you want. But I told you guys I was gonna cover this Maduro, the military version of it, because I started seeing these when I was prepping for one of my other shows. I was like, oh, this is too much. I'm gonna have to make this a whole separate show, like a whole separate screen. You dig me? Hold on, let's take a little break while I check real quick.
And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story. And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom. And what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes, it.
Yes, it. Yes, namely, the Max Headroom story. And afterwards, that is directly following, I want to talk to you about something even bigger. Namely, this is Max Headroom.
Denzel, before you leave, can you hit us off with that King Kong line?
King Kong, I'm putting cases on all you. Can you curse on it? You can't curse on it, can you?
No, you can't.
I'm putting cases. You'll be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get shoot program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. You think you can do this to me? Shaq, you think you can do this to me?
Denzel, before you leave, can you hit us off with that King Kong line?
King Kong.
All right, bet. Yo, shout out to Kwame for the Cash App, man. Appreciate you, man. Don't let that brother be alone. Let's get you a drop.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Fuck all you hoes.
Irvin Reed said, this is interesting. Detailed look into the silent weapons for quiet wars. Hell yeah. I got one more joint after this, actually.
2:30 hours. The operators had to clear the roof sentries without alerting the guards 2 floors down. Standard military rifles like the M4 are useless here. Even with a suppressor, a standard bullet breaks the sound barrier, creating a sonic crack that sounds like a whip snapping. That crack echoes off buildings. It screams, "Gunfire!" For this specific problem, Delta didn't use a military rifle. They used the Sig Sauer LVAW, the Black Mamba. Notice the suppressor. It's tucked under the handguard. This keeps the weapon incredibly short, allowing operators to move through tight vents and stairwells. But the real secret is the ammo. It fires a .300 blackout round. This bullet is heavy, fat, and slow. It travels at subsonic speeds, meaning it never breaks the sound barrier. There is no sonic crack. When suppressed, the action of the bolt cycling is louder than the shot itself. It is quieter than a nail gun. The guards on the West Wing never heard the guards on the East Wing die. This is a physics cheat code. It turns a firefight into an assassination. But inside the main hall, the rules of engagement changed. Here, they faced the elite Cuban heavy guard. These men were wearing level 4 ceramic body armor designed to stop standard American ammunition. Against these targets, silence didn't matter. Lethality did. Here, the operators switched to the XM7 Spear. This is the Army's new 6.8mm beast, and it represents a total shift in doctrine. For the last 20 years, the US military prioritized light recoil. They wanted guns that were easy to shoot. The XM7 throws that out the window. It fires a 6.8mm round at chamber pressures of 80,000 psi. That is tank cannon territory. The old 5.56 round from an M4 would hit a ceramic plate and shatter. The target might be bruised, but he could shoot back. The XM7 doesn't care about your armor. It punches through ceramic plates, car doors, and cinder blocks like they are cardboard. It transfers massive kinetic energy into the target. It wasn't a firefight, it was a physics lesson. The XM7 guaranteed that every trigger pull resulted in a neutralized target. No double taps needed. Overkill? Yes. But when you only have 3 hours, you don't have time to shoot anyone twice. 0, 3, 15 hours, the inner sanctum. The remaining guards barricaded themselves in the safe room hallway. This is known as the fatal funnel. In traditional CQB, close quarters battle, you have to send a man around that corner to engage the threat. It is the most dangerous moment in combat. You are trading blood for ground. In 2026, Delta Force doesn't trade blood. They used the Switchblade 600. This is a loitering munition, essentially a flying shotgun with a camera. The operators didn't rush the hallway. They knelt in the courtyard and launched the drones from a tube. The drones flew through the second-story windows, navigated the hallways using AI target recognition, and identified the barricade.
Damn, they're using flying weaponized drones. That's crazy.
The operator simply tapped a screen. The drone dived and detonated. Delta Force didn't even have to enter the fatal funnel. They simply walked over the debris. This marks the end of traditional room clearing. Why risk a human life to clear a room when you can just delete it? 4:45 hours. The sun is 15 minutes away. Maduro is secured. The extraction point is the palace garden. This is the final choke point. A helicopter is too slow. If they try to fly a Black Hawk out of Venezuela, the waking Air Force will intercept them. A cargo plane is fast, but it can't land in a garden. They used the CV-22 Osprey. This machine is controversial. It has a troubled history. But for this specific mission profile, it is the only machine on Earth that works. It lands vertically like a helicopter, picking up the team from the lawn. But once they are airborne, the pilot rotates the nacelles forward. The Osprey transforms into a turboprop airplane. It accelerates to 300 knots, twice the speed of a standard helicopter. It climbs above the effective range of small arms fire in seconds. By the time the sun hits the Caracas skyline at 6 o'clock, the team is already cruising at 20,000 feet in international airspace. The Venezuelan jets scrambled to intercept, but they were chasing a ghost that was already gone. 3 hours. That is all it took to dismantle a regime that had stood for decades. They didn't do it with a massive invasion force. They didn't do it with a protracted bombing campaign. They used microwaves to blind the enemy, stealth rotors to deafen them, and high-pressure ballistics to break them. The world woke up to a new government, never realizing that the war had already been fought and won while they slept. This is the terrifying reality of Tier 1 operations. It is not about fair fights. It is about creating a situation where the enemy never even gets a chance to pull the trigger.
Yo. I'm real interested to see how this shit's gonna play out with Iran. The Ayatollah is still over there threatening Trump. You know, he doesn't play that shit. I don't know. These weapons exposés on Venezuela are crazy. It's like we didn't really enter the sci-fi era with this shit. know what I'm saying? The sound weapons and the microwave weapons is really what's tripping me out. I ain't even gonna hold you. Oh, hold on, let me let me load up my other one. I got Osmond reviewed the same video I was going to review. I already had it on my list, but Osmond already reviewed it, so I'm just going to use his joint so I get some extra color commentary. All right, damn, we only at the 51-minute mark. All right, we still might get to do the Don Lemon joint then. All right, cool. I haven't even heard of some of these weapons that they had in this last video expose. And like Red Sigma said before, some of that shit sound like some DARPA shit. Alright, hold on. Let me load up my next segment real quick.
Little suena el mic, rescata. Reconozco ser el ser más complicado que conozco. Mi mente es un zaperoco, soy frío y sonrío poco. Por tosco casi todos mis problemas los provoco. Es común que me llamen loco y con mi forma de ser choco. Estoy en constante desacuerdo con mi entorno. Casi no bailo en sitios nocturnos, parezco un adorno. No me drogo, como tú soy adicto al porno. Little suena el mic, rescata. Reconozco ser el ser más complicado que conozco. Mi mente es un zaperoco, soy frío y sonrío poco. Por tosco casi todos mis problemas los provoco. Es común que me llamen loco y con mi forma de ser choco. Estoy en constante desacuerdo con mi entorno, casi no. Little suena el mic, rescata. Reconozco ser el ser más complicado que conozco. Mi mente es un zaperoco, soy frío y sonrío poco. Por tosco casi todos mis problemas los provoco. Es común que me llamen loco y con mi forma de ser choco. Estoy en constante desacuerdo con mi entorno. Casi no bailo en sitios nocturnos, parezco un adorno. No me drogo, como tú soy adicto al porno. Little suena el mic, rescata. Reconozco ser el ser más complicado que conozco. Mi mente es un zaperoco, soy frío y sonrío poco. Por tosco casi todos mis problemas los provoco. Es común que me llamen loco y con mi forma de ser choco. Estoy en constante desacuerdo con mi entorno, casi no.
Alright, bet. Let's do the secret psychic weapon used in Venezuela. And I got Osmond doing color commentary. Let's go.
I wanted to see this because I don't know how the fuck they ended up doing this. But apparently the United States military, whenever they were capturing Maduro, literally started using like psychic weapons.
Did the U.S. military deploy a secret sonic weapon during the raid in Venezuela? According to witnesses on the ground, the operation began with an unexplained radar blackout.
Imagine that, bro. Like, the entire fucking power for the country just goes out.
A massive drone swarm and the sounds of helicopters.
Oh my God.
Despite being outnumbered 5-1, the small U.S. Special Forces team faced less resistance. Why? Reports indicate soldiers suffered from vertigo, vomiting.
So they went in there a 5-1 odds, and they didn't even lose a single guy. Holy fuck.
and internal bleeding.
Oh my God.
Military analysts believe this was a soft kill operation, likely utilizing a high-power microwave device. More detail all in the video ahead.
What the fuck?
Based on witness testimony, here's how the event likely occurred. Venezuelan soldiers were on standard guard duty when their radar systems suddenly shut down without warning.
Everything just shut
Immediately
down.
after the blackout, a massive drone swarm appeared over the facility, followed by 8 helicopters equipped with unidentified technology.
They don't even know what it is.
A 20-man team of Delta and Special Forces operatives deployed from the helicopters.
20 guys.
The encounter took a mysterious turn when the defending force of 100 soldiers reportedly froze, leaving them unable to compete with a smaller elite team. Witnesses noted that the Delta Force operatives fired with impossible precision, estimating a rate of fire near 300 rounds per minute per soldier.
Okay, so the previous videos, we figured that out, that they might have actually been guys wearing exoskeletons, and they might have also had robots on the ground, armored and weaponized robots on the ground.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Yeah.
It is theorized that Black Hawk helicopters were used
Just
to
video
deploy
game,
this
yes.
capability, utilizing disc-shaped
Damn.
radar attachments to launch a directed beam at the opposing troops.
Jesus.
They reported internal trauma. They suffered immediate vestibular incapacitation, meaning a total loss of balance and paralysis.
Emotional
Some even reported
damage.
bleeding from the nose and vomiting blood, symptoms consistent with internal hemorrhaging.
Oh my God.
While the Pentagon hasn't officially disclosed the specific hardware, military experts
It's probably an LRAD, right? I mean, that's what it's got to be.
often call this a soft kill system. So how does it actually work? To understand the weapon, you first have to look at what it did. The most likely candidate for a weapon that creates that kind of internal pressure without external sound is a high-power microwave device.
Just microwave the shit
It
out of
relies on something called the Frey effect.
Oh my
The
God.
weapon, probably carried by a Chinook or a Black Hawk helicopter, fires a focused beam of pulse microwave energy, not sound waves, that passes right through the skull. These beams are absorbed by the water in the brain tissue and the fluid in the inner ear.
Jesus
This energy causes a minuscule rapid heating of the tissue, less than 1 degree Celsius. But that tiny sudden expansion generates a pressure wave inside the skull. The consequence? The target hears a sound, clicks, buzzing, or a roar that originates inside their own head, bypassing the eardrums entirely.
Oh my
If the
God.
frequency is tuned to the resonance of the inner ear, it violently disrupts the body's balance, causing immediate vertigo. At higher power levels, that rapid tissue expansion can rupture capillaries, leading to the reported nosebleeds and internal trauma. There's another possibility.
This is like, I mean, you think about how fucking insane that is. Oh my God.
A weaponized infrasonic pulse emitter. Instead
Some
of a
crazy
continuous
shit,
beam,
yeah.
this device would fire high-intensity slugs of low-frequency air pressure below 20 hertz.
Oh.
These waves travel through the body to match the resonant frequency of internal organs like the stomach or lungs. High-intensity infrasound can actually cause cavitation, the formation of bubbles in bodily fluids. When those bubbles collapse, they create tiny shock waves that damage tissue. The target feels an intense vibration in their gut, leading to severe nausea and effectively paralyzed.
Do you remember all those guys with like their fucking rinky-dink cars that have like metal walls on the side of it with like them wearing a ski mask and an AK-47? Like, this is straight up the difference between, like, they went into this and they treated these guys like it was like an uncontacted tribe with like fucking bows and arrows. It's not even like they didn't even have a chance.
Them with pain and sickness. Tactically, the reports
Holy
suggest U.S.
fuck.
forces use this technology as the ultimate force multiplier. The result was that the hundreds of Venezuelan guards mentioned in the reports weren't fought in a traditional gun battle. They were incapacitated, sick, dizzy, and bleeding, long before U.S. troops made contact. This allowed a small team of
And you've got to keep in mind, too, that this is the thing that they're willing to show. Think about the types of technology and the things that they have that they're not even willing to show, even for a mission like this. I bet this is probably like the maybe B tier, but probably C tier technology they have. Like they have space. Yeah, no, they literally drop down to Space Marines and they use psychers for fucking backup support. They actually got invaded by the Imperium.
Nearly 20 operators to walk virtually unopposed through a much larger force. But that's not it. The U.S. military has another secret weapon.
This 20 years
Analysts
ago?
called it the Iron
The
Dome.
difference is like, so I talked to a guy that I know that knows about this, and he said that they've had LRAD, but all of the different technology like this that they've had, they never had it portable. So I think the technology that I think was unexpected here was that they could use this in a portable helicopter that's able to be moved around.
The U.S. military has another secret
That's
weapon.
what he told me. He was in the military.
Analysts called it the Iron Dome of the Caribbean.
Yep.
They said the airspace over Venezuela was impenetrable, locked
Really?
down by the Russian-made S-300 anti-system.
Really? Wow. How'd that go?
A beast capable of swatting aircraft out of the sky from 150 miles away.
Uh-huh.
But in the dark
But-
night, the myth of invincibility didn't just crack. It evaporated. The opening salvo didn't come from pilots, but from physics. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford, stationed off the coast, unleashed a barrage of electronic warfare so dense it didn't just jam the Venezuelan radar screens, it burned them white.
So it just turned them off. Well, that'll work.
S-300
You said, man, this sounds like the adverse effects of chemotherapy. Yeah. Yeah, I think we done reached a new level in warfare, especially with these Tier 1 operators.
operators at Captain Manuel Rios Air Base were
Turn 'em
blind
off.
before they ever saw the missiles
Do you
coming.
believe this fan fiction? I do, because it worked. I do. I think it worked. I saw it. Yep.
The first kinetic strikes were surgical from a destroyer. Two Tomahawk cruise missiles slammed into the S-300VM radar arrays. In an instant, the eyes of the Venezuelan
So they
defense
just blew
network
it
were
up.
turned into twisted, red-hot scrap metal. Precision-guided bombs walked down the flight line. One by one, the Su-30s and the aging X-16s parked beside them were engulfed in fireballs.
God
7
damn.
jets were erased before their pilots could even reach the ladders.
What the fuck?
It wasn't a dogfight, it was an execution. But the final blow was psychological. At 4:20, the roar of jet engines shook the windows of downtown Caracas. The target was Fortuna, the headquarters of the Ministry of Defense and the nerve center of the regime's
So yeah, you have to keep in mind, like this guy, he was at the main military base. It's not like they just got this guy at his like residential home. No, they literally went into the main area with the military and they just got him out of that.
military command. The strikes
Yeah.
didn't level the city, they decapitated the leadership's ability to communicate. As smoke billowed from the ministry buildings, the message was clear to every commander on the ground: you are alone. You
I
are
bet.
alone and that no help is coming. But all of this is just a deception. The main target is none other than the president. We finally have the declassified timeline of how U.S. forces breached the heart.
Yo, what up? Quiet storm in the building. So what kind of poll question is that? Of course the USA has the best military. Hey, I gotta find some way to get all the viewers interactive and everything. You know what I'm saying? I need clicks and bumps and everything. But of course we know it is. That's why we going through all these highlights. iPhone bricking Chinese missile detection systems and this Tier 1 operation in Venezuela with Maduro, which is something out of a science fiction novel.
Of Caracas and extracted Nicolás Maduro.
Extracted him?
Let's start with step 1.
Yeah.
The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the U.S. had been tightening a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford carrier
This
strike
is what I'm curious about, if they're going to do this with Iran too, because like they have the same thing that they're building up around Iran. And so like, are they trying to get all the different fucking ships over there so they can just basically do this same thing? It's like, I mean, it would probably suck. I mean, because you think about it from their...
You said China rockets crashing? Is this recent? I want to have to look that up. I just the early part of this I covered how that was the China Observer video I covered earlier. I said I was going to do it on tech support with Theo on Sunday that I was going to do it, and that's them talking about how they shut down the Chinese air defense systems, and I think they're the same air defense systems that Iran has. No, but I'll look into this. These Chinese rockets crashing. Man, we may be entering like a whole new level of warfare here. Aside from like nuclear weapons and everything, especially with these AI integrated Internet of Things, drone swarm technology. That shit's crazy.
Perspective, right? I mean, you know that the ship is going to be there in 6 days. You saw what happened whenever the ship got to Venezuela. And it's sailing over to your country right now. I'd be stressed out.
Group and the U.S. Iwo
I'd be
Jima
really stressed
amphibious
out.
ready group were parked off the coast. The pretext was clear. The U.S. designated the Venezuelan government a narco-terrorist state, specifically targeting the drugs lords. But while the Navy squeezed the coast, intelligence assets were tracking one man. They waited for a specific window, a moment where Maduro was stationary and vulnerable. Step 2, the strike. It began at exactly 2 in the morning Venezuelan Standard Time. High above, several F-35 stealth fighters punch a hole through the enemy lines, destabilizing their anti-air defenses. Like these Russian S-300 missiles located all over the strategic high-value target.
That's a badass
With the skies
little
clear,
ship there.
the path
Look at
opens
that.
for Delta Force helicopters
The
to fly
helicopter,
straight towards the mission. Here comes the deception as the helicopters flew. The jets started firing with more strikes as it hit Fort Tuna, the main military base and command center, and La Carlota Air Base, destabilizing
I
the
feel like it's also kind of like, I mean, how do they think that they have a chance if we were able to just like turn off their military? Like there wasn't even a fight. Nothing, there was not even a conflict. They couldn't even do anything. It was just over.
Venezuelan air support. Reports from the ground describe widespread
No
explosions
chance,
and
yeah.
a sudden communications blackout. The chaos wasn't the goal, it was the cover. But how did the raid happen? We have to look at step 3. Under the cover of darkness and chaos, the Tier 1 operators went to work. But what is the exact unit tasked with the mission? It is the Delta Force, one of the most elite secretive special forces units in the US military. Witnesses in Caracas reported low-flying aircraft skimming the rooftops, flying well below radar coverage. The team breached a secure compound believed to be a safe house within the massive Fort Tuna complex.
Well, they knew where he was. They knew where he was the entire time. It was never even a question.
Resistance from the Venezuelan Presidential Guard was swift but ultimately futile, as the helicopters lay cover fire. The operators moved with surgical speed, landing on multiple points. But how exactly the capture and extraction happened? For this, let's look at step 4. Specialized helicopters hovered over the objective to insert the assault team. While dozens
Yeah, it's some science. It's like some shit out of science fiction. Yo, okay, all right, I see that. Okay, Quiet Zone, hold on. I'm opening up my WhatsApp right now. Yo, drop that link in my WhatsApp. We'll go over this Chinese rockets crash. We'll do that one next then. Fuck it, we do that one next then. Just hold on, just drop it in my WhatsApp so I can open it up on my streaming computer. You know what I'm saying? A matter of fact, since we watching this Maduro joint, this is some footage. Okay, all right, bet. Okay, I see it right here. Okay, Quiet Storm in the building. All right, bet. This some footage. Trump talking about this same Maduro operation that we looking at right now.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit. And I stole it, like, but niggas don't understand. I talk facts. Vlad, I talk facts.
Ah, you're right.
I
don't even deny it. That's cool.
Nigga, I talk facts. What deny? What, nigga? Give me that, nigga. You don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
You know when a nigga got a girl, her shit fat? Bro, you don't know what to do with that. Give me that.
Yeah, that's Trump talking shit about the whole Maduro get down. But now when you see this video breakdown from the military, you see why he was all cocky about that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Dozens of attack helicopters laid down suppression fire. The Delta Special Forces descended and started the search for the high-value targets. How did they find him?
They just got his ass.
Simple. The CIA had planted spy inside Nicolás Maduro close circle.
They literally just had a guy there. They're like, yeah, he's here. It's impressive as fuck. Yeah, of course.
While back in the U.S., Delta Force built an exact replica of his safe house, rehearsing the raid until they could do it blindfolded. Wow.
They already knew his entire fucking house. Yeah, it's like, imagine like these guys, they built a replica of your fucking house. It's a cool video, yeah.
While operators breached the room so fast, his security could not even react to the situation as the sound of flash grenades disoriented the security guard. Using blowtorch, they caught him before he could even lock all the doors. Maduro's shock and awe froze him as Delta Force reached the compound. Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were physically secured. This wasn't a negotiation. They were detained and immediately moved to the extraction point. These aircraft are capable of performing urban extractions from buildings and refueling in midair.
What the
We
fuck?
make original 4K 3D animation with a small team of animators. So please support us by subscribing and dropping in a comment for more exclusive engineering animations made just for you guys.
Oh my god. Well, there it is. Do you think they knew jerking off hours? I bet they did.
But niggas don't understand. I talk facts. Vlad, I talk facts.
Oh, you're right.
I
don't even deny it. That's cool.
I talk facts. What deny? What, nigga? Give me that, nigga. You don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
You know when a nigga got a girl, her shit fat? Bro, you don't know what to do with that. Give me that.
All right, hold on. Let me load up this these Chinese rockets crashing that the Quiet Storm sent me. Let's take a look at it. Hold on, there's Somali Scam King while I load up my segment.
TV. Somali boy count cash, move sneaky. Paper in the daycare, paper in the kitchen on the farm, different story, different vision. Every office, cousin got position. Every meeting, bro, I got a mission. Smile for the photo, suit look clean. Under the table, whole crew eat green. Somali Scam King, hey. We run that, 8 bill gone, they can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade, Carlo, say, flip it, untangle. Somali Scam King, talk sweet, walk mean. Dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Rebeat, sign here, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn. Somali Scam King. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali Scam King. Freedom fighters, now they fight with spreadsheets. Laptop louder than the sound of the streets. Grand after grand, feeding all the kids. Outside parking lot full of new whips. Charity, trucking, fake school, fake farm. Whole application like reading the charm. Refugee program, we help, we care. Back in Saxon, we just spit that shit. Comrade Carlos in the must front row at the door prayer. Plan where the funds go, one file here. One shell company there. By the time they notice, we in the air. Somali Scam King. We run that 8 bill gone, they can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade Carlos, say flip it, untangle. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, walk mean, dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Habibi, sign it, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn. Somali Scam King. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet. Somali Scam King. Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
All right. All right, we back at it. All right, let's all right, I got let's cue this joint up. This is this is from Decoding China. All right. Says China's space disaster. Rockets fall out of control everywhere. People flee in panic. China having some technology problems. Hey Phil, you said this is Unchained. Yo, this is the segment I told I was going to do on Sunday. At the beginning, it was China Observer. It talks about how the U.S. remotely iPhone bricked their missile target, the missile detection systems and aircraft detection systems. Quiet Storm just sent me this joint. China's space disaster. The rockets fall out of control everywhere. And this is from Decoding China. So yeah, let's get into this real quick. And I'll do we at 1:15. Yeah, let's get into this and then I'll do a little bit of this Don Lemon running up in churches about to catch a charge. We do Osmond on that one too.
Why does China still fail? C919 rejected by China's own airlines. Zero orders, while $20 billion flows into buying Airbus aircraft. 12 charts lay bare China's economic death spiral. Why nothing can save it now. China's local government financial crisis. Mass wage protest eruptions break out across multiple regions. Wave of persecution rises again. CCP escalates crackdown on Chinese Christians. You're watching Decoding China, where we bring you timely analysis and grounded perspectives on today's China. Imitating SpaceX, pouring in hundreds of billions of dollars. Why does China still fail? On the evening of January 13th, debris from a Long March 6 modified launch vehicle launched by the Chinese Communist Party fell in Liuyangbao Village, Huamachi Town, Yanqi County, Ningxia. According to villagers, the impact site was only 100 meters from the nearest home. After the launch, state media outlets issued celebratory reports declaring the mission a success, but made no mention of debris crashing into a village. Videos filmed by villagers were also quickly deleted. In recent years, the Chinese Communist Party has accelerated the pace of rocket launches to achieve its scientific and military objectives. However, problems have been frequent. At 12:05 p.m. on December 3, 2025, the first reusable orbital class rocket, Zhuke-3, developed by Landspace, lifted off from the Dongfeng Commercial Aerospace Innovation Test Zone in the Gobi Desert of Inner Mongolia, China. The launch was accompanied by a deafening roar. After 133 seconds, the first stage separated and initiated a vertical recovery sequence. However, just a few kilometers short of the designated landing site, the rocket exploded midair, disintegrating into a massive fireball before crashing to the ground in thick black smoke. The recovery attempt ended in failure. Just 20 days later, at the same desert test site, another recovery experiment, this time conducted by China's national team, ended in a nearly identical outcome. On December 23, 2025, the Long March 12A, CZ-12A rocket, developed by the 8th Research Institute of the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, TAIESC, carried out its maiden flight. While the second stage successfully placed its payload into orbit, the first stage failed during the landing phase. Engine reignition problems led to insufficient thrust and loss of attitude control, and the booster crashed and exploded 2 to 4.5 kilometers from the intended recovery site. Both tests were successful in orbital insertion, but failed in recovery, with strikingly similar failure modes. This was no coincidence. It exposed systemic weaknesses in China's attempt to replicate the SpaceX-style reusable rocket model. Technical disclosures indicate that both rockets passed difficult phases such as atmospheric reentry.
They're trying to replicate. They're trying to replicate Elon Musk's rocket technology, and you know Tesla is in China. They actually are selling cars in China. Well, Quiet Storm says, in Theo we trust. So the Tesla technology is not that easy to replicate after all, at least with regard to the rockets.
And initial deceleration. The failures occurred in the final landing phase, specifically during reignition for soft landing. This points to 3 bottlenecks: combustion instability in liquid oxygen methane engines under deep throttling, difficulty maintaining attitude control during
You say Elon be clowning them? China's got like some awesome electronic cars though, like they really do. They even had them when I was there in 2017, and they were awesome then. This rocket tech, China steals intellectual property from everyone, especially since a lot of people are sending stuff there for manufacturing. They just steal everything. The original GoPro was sourced with parts from Shenzhen. The original GoPro, actually, I believe the first 2 models. And now you see, what is it? I actually have one. the Ape Cam, all these GoPro cheap Chinese knockoffs, which will actually work very well, by the way. But it makes sense considering the original GoPro, all of the hardware was sourced from the Shenzhen region. Kwame says Thailand bought tanks from the Chinese and the barrels were blown up while using military tactics. I could believe it. You stupid. International Choir Store said this rocket was built using Sheen. Sheen products. Oh, we need Stephen A on this case for that.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yo. Irvin said, I don't think I want to ride in the China Temu rocket. Yo. There's China. Yeah, China's got a space program. Yeah, they do. But yeah, Temu rocket.
Let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Shit. Got your ass.
Theo said Armageddon is the way. If you know, you know. All right, let's go. Let's get some more of this. Let's get some more.
Hypersonic reentry, and low reliability in multi-system integration, including engines, thermal protection, landing legs, and autonomous control. By contrast, SpaceX began pursuing reusability in 2012, openly enduring multiple explosions and public failures. On December 24, 2015, Falcon 9 achieved its first successful landing. By the end of 2025, Falcon 9 had surpassed...
I remember the Falcon 9 landing. It was actually pretty exciting. I remember the Falcon 9 landing. And then they had like all the live feed from inside SpaceX. Yo, they was hype. Elon was hype as shit. It was pretty exciting.
100 launches per year, achieved a recovery success rate above 97%, reused a single booster 31 times, and reduced internal marginal launch costs to under $3,000 per kilogram. The gap between the two sides is not merely technical. It reflects a fundamental difference in engineering culture and institutional tolerance for failure. China's aerospace budget for 2025 is estimated to exceed $20 billion, with related funds reportedly surpassing 480 billion yuan. Launch frequency surged from 39 missions in 2020 to over 90 in 2025. Yet rising launch numbers primarily demonstrate administrative mobilization, not mastery of core technology. What the reusable rocket problem ultimately exposes is not an issue of engines or grid fins, but of how power structures govern science. In the current system, failure is treated not as data to learn from, but as a political liability to be concealed. Innovation is subordinated to political correctness, and engineering outcomes are judged through a propaganda lens. This structural constraint...
I think that's fundamentally true to some extent. But we have that paradigm hasn't shown to be true when it comes to the development of AI on their part. It's been almost like an open source approach to AI development over in China.
Rather than funding or ambition, remains the main obstacle to genuine technological breakthroughs. The push for reusable rockets is also not purely commercial. It is closely tied to military ambitions and control over strategic infrastructure. The role of satellite networks, such as Starlink in the Russia-Ukraine war, demonstrated how space-based communications can rapidly restore connectivity, support battlefield command, intelligence sharing, and drone operations. Chinese authorities understand that a similar constellation could shape future contingencies in Taiwan or the South China Sea, while also strengthening domestic surveillance capabilities. The failures of Juke-3 and Long March 12A underscore a growing paradox. China can mobilize enormous resources to imitate the form of advanced technology, yet remains constrained by a system in which failure cannot be openly acknowledged, and science must yield to political narrative. Under such conditions, rockets may continue to launch, and satellite applications may continue to flood international bodies, but core innovative capacity remains unresolved. The space race between China and the United States has only just begun, but it is already clear that the decisive gap lies not in orbit, but within the structure of power itself, and in how a system confronts failure. C919 rejected by China's own airlines. Zero orders, while $20 billion flows into buying.
Yeah, I use DeepSeek. I use all of the models. I use Gemini because I use all the built-in Google products. They're awesome. And then like if I do stuff with Gemini, I can like automatically have it send my results to a Google Doc and stuff like that. I like Perplexity. And I've been messing with DeepSeek for code, like Python, Terraform, and a couple other things. DeepSeek's actually good for. I found that it's good for like some like web scraping and stuff too. I know a couple people that are really like the DeepSeek models. Theo likes ChatGPT. He likes the GPT models. And I haven't been used. I know a lot of people they're saying Grok's really kicking ass right now. So I'll probably start messing with Grok for a bit. But and the thing is, I like with Perplexity and with Gemini, they have the live mode where you plug in and it's just all and they have the dialogue format. So I'll just plug right into Perplexity or Gemini. I know they have it with ChatGPT now too, but like you could just talk to it about something, like, and it'll run you through everything. I actually even use I use the Gemini dialogue mode, Perplexity dialogue mode to quiz me and walk me through SSA cert use cases and stuff like that, and to quiz me on stuff, and it keeps track. But yeah, I know. Let me see. You say you've used Grok for about 6 months. It's solid. Cool. I mean, no doubt, like all of your queries and uses on DeepSeek, they're sending all that data back to China, of course. But like I've yeah, I've primarily been using DeepSeek to practice code blocks for certain use cases and stuff with Python scripting and Terraform.
Airbus aircraft. China's aviation industry has witnessed a striking turning point. Air China announced an order for 60 Airbus A320neo aircraft worth approximately $9.5 billion. Around the same time, China United Airlines, Spring Airlines, Lucky Air, and China Aviation Leasing signed additional contracts, bringing the total number of Airbus aircraft ordered by Chinese carriers to 148, with a combined value exceeding.
He says a friend of mine has a Cybertruck and the vehicle has built-in Grok. Wow. It's pretty impressive how it can adapt fast with the driver's style of thinking. A bit scary. And I think Theo and I was talking about this. You know, these are just the models that have been released to the public. The version of Grok that's been going to be integrated into the Pentagon, as per the press conference held by Pete Hegseth and Elon. That enterprise level shit, bruh. Okay, all right, bet we'll kill it. All right, cool. Then let's well, we got 129. All right, I still got time. Let's make fun of Don Lemon. Let's make fun of Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. running up in the Church of all things. Donnie just wants some attention, and he is not going to get the attention, it appears. He's not going to get the attention that he wants. Or at least it's going to be some shitty attention. Let's just say that. Let me load up my next segment. Let's see, what do we have here? Let me see. Storm says, take from me, who work very close to the military, commercial AI and government are two different beasts. I'll leave it right there. Well, shit, I was talking about the Palantir shit a couple weeks ago, and you're already working with one of the extensive Palantir models. Yeah, like, oh boy, Quiet Storm is plugged in, man. Hey, let's take a little music break. Here's my boy Conway.
Yeah, it's getting spookier and spookier. Fucking drum, I've been writing missiles and they nuclear. Drop the devil's reject, they think I worship Lucifer. Nah, I'm the god, but the flow just getting stupider. Yeah, I just want my niggas here to prosper. You ain't seen better gunslingers than Aaron Rodgers. Nigga, kicking the door, leave with every dollar. Barman Pierre Collar, I ain't wearing Prada. They might be tough, but we more vicious. The niggas had new Jordans on, but we wore Christians. I came with 2 hoes, left the club with 3 more bitches. Know a nigga that got body day before Christmas. Whoa, bulldog walking like a king corso. Put all 6 bullets in the same torso. Break a brick down to cane morsels. Wig shot close range to do your brain off. Whoa, 650 for the Camel Valentina. I'm that nigga now, ex Alan Primo. So how we equal? The devil's reject, boy, my style is evil. But in real life, you know that I will leave you. Machine boy, rap money got me looking like I sling, boy. You better off just letting me do my thing, boy. Cause all my youngest got sticks and they let it ring, boy. Empty the whole magazine, boy. I brought the grimy back, stay out of my lane. I promise I put a hollow chip inside of your brain. Ever since I got it poppin', shit is not what it came. Rap nigga come to my city, say goodbye to his chain, he gotta run that. Grimy is an all-time, I run that. Mike park the foreign outside where I used to pump that. My younger just got a new blicky, he wanna dump that. He waiting on that green light, I promise you don't want that.
Keep it fresh, yo. Creator, keep it fresh, yo. Keep it fresh, yo. Creator, keep it fresh, yo. Touch is mad, the band,
I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
I analyzed videos of over 100 instances of Superman catching people falling from buildings. Superman dips 30% more to cushion the blow of white people than he does blacks. This is a clear indication of implicit bias. There's no way around it. Superman is racist.
What they neglected to tell you is that the white individuals all fell from skyscrapers. The black individuals fell from smaller buildings on average, experiencing significantly lower velocities.
And why does Superman live in Metropolis, the city with the lowest crime rate in America? Because it's also the city with the whitest population in America.
To heck with this. I'm moving to Poland.
All right. All right, we're back. All right, let's we're at the 1 hour 35-minute mark. Let's do this little Don Lemon segment with him running up in the church and probably about to catch a case. I hope so. Like, people need to go to jail. Lord of Brooklyn, what up with you, Playboy? There you go. Apollo and Gotham. Yeah, those are the two Palantir systems. All right, let's go.
It is traumatic for the people, and that's what protesting is about.
Watch this guy here. Look, he's hugging his kid. And you know, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful. It's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But that's what really careful, please. Really slippery. I'm not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so,
protesting is about harassing children at church. Wow. How about that? I didn't know that. I'm just learning that right now for the first time. Don Lemon after storming the church. Oh, here we go.
You heard what some of the folks said in there, you know, that this is, they shouldn't be there and, you know, they shouldn't be uncomfortable and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it, but I mean, if they went into a church, you know, any church, you our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may.
Who decided that protesting is to make people uncomfortable? I thought it was to make a change. Like, who decided that? Like, when did this happen that we've decided that protesting is now the way that you protest is being the most annoying, obnoxious, disruptive, and a just basically problematic person possible? Protesting is actually about petitioning the government for a redress of grievances. The world for traumatizing kids at church to affect political ends is terrorism. Yeah, Don Lemon went on a rant against ICE. Okay, here we go. So this is what he actually thinks about ICE. Because he's really put himself in a bad position doing this. You know, like, I see anybody who's going out and, you know, like, you're going into a church and interrupting people from, like, being able to, you know, worship God. I think that you're really, it's like, you know, from an optics perspective, it looks bad. It definitely does. So, and, you know, usually, you know, you look at history, and I would say in most cases, the people that do that aren't the good guys. So let's listen to, Don Lemon. Here we go.
Attention, ICE. Let me just say something that most journalists will not say. They can't say it. I understand that. Attention, ICE. Let me just say something that most journalists will not say.
What are they going to say?
I understand that. But I'm an independent journalist now, so I can't.
No, you're independent. I mean, journalists.
Nah, your ass got fired, bro. Your ass got fired. And you out here scrambling, trying to do the independent journalist. Although you're not, you're independent propaganda. You're on somebody's payroll. And you're trying to get attention. You're going to get the attention you want this time. It's funny. These people are going to be prosecuted with the same, like, civil rights type legislation, with like civil rights level legislation. Yo, it's turning into clown world, man.
I mean, I don't know if I would really say that. I mean, like, you're independent now. Maybe not an independent journalist, but he's independent now.
Can't say it. Fuck off, ICE. Fuck all the way off.
Fuck all the way off.
Low life losers. And you feel empowered.
You know what's funny is that I bet a lot of the ICE agents are making more money than Don Lemon is now. I do. I bet they're making more money than him.
By your dear leader, Donald Trump.
Dear leader.
You've never had this position of power before. Small person.
He is balding. He is, if you look at it.
And
I'll pause whenever he leans down.
In an inhumane way, and you don't even understand why, because you're too dumb to figure it out.
You're wrong, and I can't tell you why you're wrong. You just have to agree with me. Okay.
Poorly educated that
makes
Donald
sense.
Trump loves.
Yeah,
that's who you are, and you're out there doing his.
Well, but I mean, most people that see he is balding. Look at that. That's really bad. Number one. Number two. People that are poorly educated are genuine.
You're just being petty now, Osme. He said he's balding. I'm really wondering who wrote Don Lemon a check, because what's the other crying liberal? Van Jones. Didn't he get like $100 million from Jeff Bezos? For I don't know what.
Generally a victim of circumstance, right? Like if somebody is like very badly educated, the odds are the schools in their area are bad, and there's a socioeconomic reason for that. Now, obviously there's people that are stupid, sure. But like, I would say a lot of education does come down to like what school you go to.
Doing things that are illegal, doing things that are unconstitutional, doing things that are inhumane, like killing someone.
Right.
Because you're pissed off, because this person may be notifying people that you're in.
They really mad. This Becky caught a hot one, bro. The facade is starting to drop. You know what I'm saying? They would have felt better if it was a brother. Then they could, then it wouldn't be a Becky. Two, they can get more brown bodies in front of them, and then they could really turn up and raise some money for the Democratic Party. But because Karen caught a hot one in the face, it don't got the same swag.
In the area trying to.
Well, yeah, that's called obstruction. That's like against the law. You can't do that.
To round people up. That is that person's First Amendment right to do. You can do.
Nobody has a First Amendment right to interfere with a federal investigation. I don't know why people, and the thing is that I think this stuff plays a lot better on like mainstream media because there's no comment section. There's no way for the audience to have a rapport with like the.
Yo, bingo. That's what I'd be saying. The mainstream media model is that they could just say whatever they want. There's no repercussion. There's no fact check. There's no nothing. Now that we're in a social media age, and when they're wrong, just like when Oprah turned off her comments when she had Scott Galloway on there, because you can get ratioed in the comments and with the likes and dislikes. It's real-time feedback on your content. You understand what I'm saying? And now that the mainstream media is under scrutiny, they're crumbling and they can't. You know that they're trying to get Scott Jennings off of Abby Phillips and everything because he's trashing the Democratic pundits so thoroughly by himself, dolo, that they're starting to call him a propagandist because because he's beating them to death. Like so they're trying. They got like some petition to get Scott Jennings off of Abby Phillips on CNN. The only reason people watch Abby's show is to watch Scott Jennings smack these libs up. Osmond, Osmond's cooking Don Lemon. Don Lemon squeezy easy peasy.
With the media. And so because of that, I think it goes really well on mainstream media. You can't do this. This is the wrong thing. It's not illegal to do this. But actually, it's so obviously illegal. It's not even a question, right? It's completely obvious.
That as an American, but maybe not in Donald Trump's America.
Yeah.
You are fat fuck losers who just called out of a trailer park from some Proud Boy meeting, or if not worse, some other group that could be worse than him. You are thugs, jack-booted thugs.
Right.
And now let me just say this. Because you don't understand this, let me make it clear to you, okay? The Democrats are right. You do not have to follow unlawful orders. but perhaps you don't know that. Or maybe you just don't care. Maybe you have not been trained. Most of you, I'm sure, have not been trained.
Well, the problem is that if Democrats followed lawful orders, you wouldn't need to have all the ICE detentions. All they needed to do was cooperate with the federal government and turn over illegal aliens to the federal government, and you would have never had this problem to begin with. This is a completely manufactured problem. Like, you wouldn't have had all these like house arrests and like home invasions and, you know, like raids and shit like this if they had just taken a lot of these guys that, you know, like, okay, this is where, you know, Manuel lives. He's not supposed.
Well, even easier than that, guys. You gotta remember, I have. You know, I'll be posting the memes on the community tab. I found the meme with Obama awarding Tom Holman a medal when he was head of ICE under the Obama administration. He's basically a hero. So Holman's been doing this for a long time. Bang, I got it right here. I'm gonna post it. President Obama awarded Tom Holman the Presidential Rank Award for his work in immigration enforcement. I'm gonna post it on after the stream. I'm gonna post it on the community tab on my meme joints, and you guys can download that joint and repost Obama giving Holman the medal. My point though is that Holman's been doing this for a long time. He's matter of fact, he got Trump called him out of retirement to head ICE for him because he's done such a. And the number one thing Holman said before Trump even came in office, he kept saying with the sanctuary cities and what have you, is yo, we don't need to send ICE agents into the street. We got a list of warrants and everything. Just open up the jails. Let us come to the jails and we'll empty the jails first. If you don't do that, and the sanctuary cities, bear in mind that they're refusing to let ICE have access to the illegals who are scheduled for deportation, etc., who are actually behind bars. So it's in a safe environment away from the public. So they just refused off of, you know, Trump derangement syndrome. We're a sanctuary city, and also to have it as political hay. And the Holman kept saying, like, if you guys don't do that, we're still going to do our job. We're just going to have to send agents into your city to serve these warrants and pick these people up. And then what happens is we got warrants for specific people. But when we go to serve this warrant, if it just so happens that this person who the warrant is served for is with a slew of other illegal aliens, they're going too. So there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. Holman was saying that for months.
Supposed to be here, but he's been here for 7 years. Well, just go over there and get him, right? I mean, it's pretty simple.
Properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do things like you did with that young lady who should be alive.
Yeah, she should be. But if she wasn't driving in that day, if she didn't go out and obstruct ICE, she'd still be alive. She would be. This is a crazy thing to say. You put all the responsibility in the officer. I think they should do an investigation. I do. Like, I'm pretty certain the officer didn't do anything wrong, and I think it's important to make sure that you get to the truth of the matter. But here's the reality, is that if they do an investigation on that event, and then the officer is found to not be at fault, everybody that's like Don Lemon will just say the investigation's rigged. So there's not even, and this is one thing that's very important, is that there's not a legitimate conversation to be had here. Like, there's not any, like, it's not like they're going to listen to it or they're going to see it from another angle or anything else. So, yeah, what's this here? Yeah, you can't argue with your, yeah, exactly. You can't argue with these people. You can't approach this on the perspective of debate or understanding. Like, they said that the hospital's lying about the records. They said that, you know, like, oh, she was just trying to drive her kids to school. These people just openly lie and make up whatever they need in order to, like, fill their worldview. So it's not like, oh, wow, well, you know, if you show this, then they'll realize that they're wrong. People like that never realize that they're wrong because they don't care about being right. That's the reason why. You're pissing in the wind. Yeah, you're just wasting your time.
And she is not alive today.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because you're all jacked up on power that's not even really yours. And in the end, you could end up losing your freedom.
Oh, because you're going to put all the ICE agents in jail, right?
By going to jail.
Meet Soft Black Man, the safest man in America. He listens, he validates, and he never disagrees.
Unless it's about your self-care.
He's strong, but not too strong. Soft Black Man, your plush.
Going to jail and losing your freedom. Donald Trump cannot pardon you if this is a state charge.
The word liberal as an acronym, lacking in basic education, reasoning, and logic. Liberal.
And so you stupid, dumb, ignorant, poorly educated, Proud Boys, Nazis marching through whatever it is you are.
He's calling them Nazis.
And that man.
Oh, wait, you couldn't see the drops? Oh, you guys didn't see those drops?
Ask that you're wearing. Why won't you identify yourselves?
Because people like you are going to post their address and their name. Obviously, that's the reason why. I'm so glad to see this guy totally crash and burn. I really am. Like, this is so like, what's the word? Like, it's cathartic. Like, seeing this guy that used to be the most obnoxious person on CNN, you've been reduced down to doing a podcast in your room that nobody likes anymore. Everybody's making fun of you. Anytime you interview somebody, they're more informed than you are. It's just embarrassing. It is. It's so embarrassing. I'm so happy to see this happen. He's being charged. Oh, I know. That's the grand finale of this story. I hate to give you a spoiler, but Don Lemon is being charged with the Ku Klux Klan Act. I'm not kidding. Literally, that's what's happening. So this story does have a happy ending, okay?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He's getting charged. He's getting charged with one of these civil rights acts, like, which is the fucking sheer irony of this is mind-boggling. Let's jump to him harassing these people in the church.
It sure does.
And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly,
he's right.
If I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's
absolutely.
Not a good way.
It's just all this is just common sense. It's total common sense.
I feel violated. I feel interrupted.
Yeah.
I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens without due process and breaking and entering the house. One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property, and there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
Because somebody else had something bad happen to them, it's okay for them to do whatever they want? Like, I don't even understand. Where's the logic here? This is like, again, I always use this example. It's like when you're playing Xbox Live and you lose a game and you get up and you punch your dog. Like, what the fuck did the dog do? What the hell? What do they have to do with this at all? Like, well, it's happening to them. So.
All right, guys. Well, we're at the 1 hour 54-minute mark. All right, I gotta get this on. He said Don Lemon. Let me see what he said. Don Lemon doing the perp walk is a sight. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, like we want to start seeing these liberals get their just due. Hey guys, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to do fire up another stream right after this. Do a double header. I got to get this one under 2 hours so I can put it on the late night rotation. StreamYard shuts you down at 2 hours. But I don't know. If you guys are going to be up, I'll fire up another stream right after this, and we'll go over some news and stuff. We're bringing the news desk back probably when I get back to Columbia. I need to be on a steady schedule to do the news desk. But yeah, if you guys want me to do a double header, I'll shut the stream down and fire up another one. And we just go through some news, some of the stuff that's going on. We got a lot of stuff that hit the what do you call it? The cutting room floor. That doesn't make the Sunday shows and stuff like that. So we can go through a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I'm up late at night in Panama. I mean, yeah, I might as well fire up another stream out. So if you guys are gonna hang out in the chat, put a 1 in the chat. I know we got a lot of cloud watchers. You guys ain't gonna do nothing. At least hit the like button, cloud watchers. I can see you. I can see you. These platforms got X-ray vision. All right, well, fuck it then. It looked like it'll just be me and you, Kwame. Lord of Brooklyn. All right, bet. Whatchamacallit? Let me, I'm almost right under the nose. All right, I'll hang out with Kwame and Lord of Brooklyn then. We'll just pull up some shit and go through it. I'm gonna probably be up for a while anyway. So, fuck it, right? Yo, shout out to Red Sigma. I am featured in a lot of those couple early episodes of the lo-fi radio we was doing. It's hard to steadily produce shit, but this is Red Sigma's beat. Let's go out with this joint. Hold on, let me add it to the stage. That shit knock, right? That's Red Sigma. Shout out Red Sigma. All right, I'm gonna shut this joint down. I'm gonna let this play out. And I'll fire up another stream in like 10 minutes. And I'll share the link and the repost in the community tab. Just come and hang out. Yeah, this shit fire, right? Yeah, this shit fire, right? Red Sigma shit knock, right?